CP24, Toronto's breaking news.
Really? So we're back live at noon. I'm joined by Soma Ray-Ellis. When Ann Romer said that we have legal experts, we have legal experts. Soma Ray-Ellis is an employment letter. We're talking employment lawyer. We don't want an employment letter. You write a lot of those. But let's just talk about the situation. All the media, all the people are saying that could cost the city $500,000 to buy out Mr. Webster's contract. And I heard that and I said, well, I think the public record shows he gets around $280,000 a year under his contract, a little bit more than a year left under his contract. But, I mean, he was fired publicly. He was fired for no just cause. He was fired before the end of his contract. He has a lot more years left in him. Is it going to be $500,000?
Well, normally it'd be a bit more than that. He's been with the city for 37 years.
Yeah.
He's worked diligently. He's got an important position. So normally under these circumstances, you would get about 2 years. There'd be more than $500,000. So we're assuming that just because he's been fired earlier, that he's getting a payout. Normally, you get a payout when you are fired, and more of a payout if it's a longer term of an employment situation.
Right. So the fact that he's been there for, was this 37 years?
37 years.
That, I mean, that shows something, and you don't go quietly into the night like that. So, assuming then he gets a lawyer, or there's lots of lawyers calling him saying, hey, I can make you a lot of money.
Right.
He could sue the city. A judge would take into account, as you said,
right,
the 37 years, take into account the public firing, take into account that there's no just cause. Could it go more than 2 years? Could it be some punitive damages there to show the city you can't do this to people?
I don't think that this case is likely to fall into the category of punitive damages. I mean, he was fired. You know, we're balancing the right of a political opinion versus the duty of loyalty. So people are saying, you know, he had a right to express his opinion. The difficulty is that when you're part of a management team, and think about it, if you are a CEO of a company, you go to the shareholders and you put an agenda in front of them, they vote for it, and your CFO turns around and says, bad idea, we're not going to do this, you know, we shouldn't be doing this. It would be a matter of course that that CFO would be getting fired. So we're balancing two ideas, the duty of loyalty that management has to execute something that they've been tasked to do versus right of your opinion.
And I guess that's the same in government, provincial government, federal government. If the deputy minister is there and he's or she's a civil servant, right, a new minister comes in, they've had an election, this is the way we want to go. The deputy, right, minister puts down their heels and saying, no, we aren't doing that.
Right.
Then there's only one choice.
There's only one choice.
Has to leave.
And it's really...
Doesn't mean they're a bad person.
Absolutely. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that the government or the city's acting in a punitive fashion. It's just that how do you get things done when somebody's putting on the brakes to an agenda that you've publicly campaigned on? And in the public sphere, if you're trying to get something done and your right arm is blocking it, same thing, same scenario, you are likely going to be fired.
So the bottom line on this one is that after all the rallies, and we're talking about this rally at 1 o'clock, and all the politics, a little bit of politics in here, when it comes down to the courts on this thing, is probably going to be more than $500,000?
Well, the courts look at, let me tell you what the courts look at. They look at the years of service,
yep,
how old you are, the kind of position you had, the market conditions, and what's happened during the term of firing. Was there any bad faith behavior involved? So he wasn't fired for cause.
Right.
He was fired for no cause. Without just cause. So people get fired into one of two ways, with cause or without cause. When you're firing somebody without cause, you're taking the high road, you're going to pay them out what they're entitled to. So it's hard to say that they've been behaving badly.
Absolutely.
In that sense.
Absolutely. The only thing we know is it's going to cost some money.
It would have cost some money anyway. For 37 years, it's going to cost some money.
It's going to cost some money. As a lawyer smiles, it's terrific.
Make sure you have your contracts read before you sign them, and have the termination agreements or letters read before you sign them.
Good advice. Soma, we're out of time. Thanks very much for your legal advice. Always great to have you on.
My pleasure.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to find out why the city of Toronto, it's number 7 in the riskiest online city. Stay with us.